I'm Candace, and with me is Katrina, and we have seen Wicked for Good, and we have thoughts. And one of the major thoughts, at least for me, was how impressed I was that they fixed one of the biggest issues I had with the musical.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the relationship of Elphaba and Fiyero.
Yes.
Because for me, it felt like it came kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, in the musical, it was like, he's the closest man and he's attractive. But I think what made their relationship more important to me, because I'm a Gelfie through and through, and now I'm more like that Parks and Rec meme where it's like Glinda is like, this is my girlfriend Elphaba, and this is Elphaba's boyfriend Fiyero. Like, that's more where I am now.
Yeah.
I actually involved him in this, and it's because of because there was so much more meaning added to not just their relationship, but how their relationship affects and fleshes out Fiero's character, for lack of a better word, because he doesn't have flesh at the end. So,
yeah, spoiler for the rest of Wicked and everything. But yeah, it's one of the most significant issues I have with the musical. I remember I love As Long as You're Mine. That is a bop. Yeah. I've listened to that with Idina and Norbert so many times. And it's always a great scene. But the focus, obviously, with Wicked is Elphaba and Glinda. So everything else, even like Elphaba's relationship with Nessa, her sister, kind of gets pushed to the wayside. Yeah. But the perk of this movie and them expanding it to 2 movies is that we get all those relationships expanded.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that, like, my worry was that because the musical itself is 2.5 hours, and that is how long the first movie is, pretty much. Like, both movies are a little over 2 hours. And I think my worry coming into both movies was like, how much more fluff are they going to add versus something that actually lends to the story. And like, overall, I think they did a really good job. Like, there are some parts that kind of drag for me, but I appreciate them enough that, I can kind of, glean over them and get to like some of the scenes that really did add to the story and flesh it out more.
The main issues is Fiyero. Fiyero has very little substance to him, which is kind of ironic since he is, the scarecrow who doesn't have much substance to him. But I feel like making him more of a character, making him have more agency, it heightens Elphaba's and Glinda's story.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Yeah.
And the film adds small but really telling interactions with longing glances. Things that you can't get in a theater setting is like up close looks. And of course, there's Jonathan Bailey. And Jonathan Bailey looks at anything like it's the most important thing in the world. He looks at his horse, most important thing in the world. Looks at, it just these glances across the room. And it's electric.
I mean, you could say that that's the thing about everyone in this movie, is that those expressions, especially, yes, with Jonathan, but like Cynthia Erivo, the way that her eyes just take you in and really convey what she's feeling in the moment. And I think that's what makes this movie, like, I think this movie is so long because we sit with those moments, but those are the moments that are important to those characters, like those quiet facial reactions, those moments where they're alone, like in, Elphaba and Kiyamako. I think that there's so much substance added to Fiyero because in the 2 films, he's challenged to think beyond surface level, beyond like, in the musical, it was kind of like he chose Elphaba because she was interesting, as opposed to like, something I wrote in the notes was that Fiyero cares about Glinda and he's attracted to her. Like, those are 2 undeniable facts, but that is something that you can tell he's been used to in every single one of his relationships. Is she's attractive, I care about her, and she's popular. Like, so that's my requirement to date whoever I'm dating right now. But and that's comfortable for him. So he's like fine with that. But what Elphaba does is challenge him to be uncomfortable with not just like how he feels about her, but how he feels about himself and what his role in this world is. Because at the end of the day, he is a prince. At that point, he does have power. He's part of the guard. He has all of this status that he can either use or give up. And in Fiero's case, it's about giving up all of that comfort. And in what Elphaba challenges Glinda to do is use that power that she has to make the world a better place. So they kind of diverge on those paths because of Elphaba. And these are things that are planted in the first movie. Like I don't think that he is immediately like in love with Elphaba. It's again surface level. Oh, she's attractive and she's fun to be around, and we hang out and blah blah blah. But she's not the most popular, so she's not my girlfriend like Glinda is. And what Elphaba constantly does is, through her own convictions, she challenges Fiyero to think about what his role is in this broader world. Like in that moment when everyone falls asleep with the poppy seeds, like one, he's thinking like, why didn't that affect me? But two, as they get into the forest and he learns to understand like what she cares about and why she cares about it. I think that's the first moment he's challenged to think about anyone besides himself, because I feel like he takes the lion simply because that is the thing going on. Like, oh, well, Elphaba wants to take this lion and free him. So I'm awake. I'll go do it. Whatever. Let's get it done. I want to kind of feel cool in front of her. But by the time they're in the forest and talking about the lion and talking about why Elphaba is doing what she's doing, that's when Fiero's like, oh my God, there are people that aren't me that matter. And so I think that's the seed that's planted where he first starts to fall in love with her because of her integrity and her convictions and her ability to just care about other people. Like that is attractive to him in a way he hasn't been used to before.
Yeah. And that goes into they have a meet cute in the first movie, and I love a good meet cute.
Yeah,
and it shows him having a talking horse, which is another great thing this movie does. Is it doesn't forget the animal aspects. It really embraces like, okay, the wizard is using these animals as a scapegoat, and it kind of falls off in Act 2. Other than like that's what Elphaba doesn't that's why when she says she's going to join the wizard, why she changes her mind in Act 2 is because she finds out he's still doing and like attacking animals. But yeah, it's showing that he has a talking horse who he's like, joking around with and, has a good relationship with. Kind of like shows that they have this in common, that they have a friendship with a horse. Like she has her nanny, he has a horse that he's buddies with. So
yeah. Well, I will say that a lot of not to pull us away from Elphaba and Fiyero too much, but a lot of the seeds that are planted in Act 1 with these animals are things that are revisited in Act 2 of the movie. In the musical, they're generally mentioned. We don't see the professor come back, but we see animals. He doesn't have lines, but Fiero's horse does come back. That is the horse that Glinda is riding. Obviously, the lion comes back, and the nurse comes back as well.
In the movie, he's the one who suggested the Ozian. Oh gosh, what's the club they go to?
Ozdust? Yeah.
Ozdust. He's the one who suggests going to Ozdust. Well, in the musical, he's like, what's the happiest place in town? Where should we go? But showing him as the person who knows about the Ozdust is important because the musicians there are animals again.
I think, and that's a really great reflection of how real life works too, especially in like the Prohibition era, historical eras like that. And obviously like I only have so much tint to my skin, so I can't speak on this in the most authentic way. But back in like the 20s and 30s, jazz clubs were huge, huge, huge. And that was music that was originated by Black people. And white folks of status used to, have that be patrons of those clubs, but they wouldn't speak out in defense of their musicians, of those musicians that they really enjoyed and like went to go see. And Ozdos is very much an allegory for that. If you think about it, like these very privileged people are going to this club that is that features animal musicians, that is run by animals, that is considered a place you should not go because it is run by animals. And none of them think about what that means, that like I am enjoying art created by these creatures, these animals that like I otherwise wouldn't talk to in real life, or don't care about, or don't think about how heavily affected their daily lives are by the like laws and the oppression that the wizard creates. And I think that it's a good point for Fiyero to be that person to say like, let's go to the Ozdos. It's a really cool place. And it's like, it's kind of, illegal to be there. And he doesn't like really care about why it's illegal at first. And so I think that he's such a great allegory for somebody of privilege who like is surrounded by, but doesn't take in the humanity, I guess, of the animals that surround him and are part of his life and change his life in better ways. And Elphaba, again, one of the reasons that he falls in love with her is because that challenge is brought to the surface. It's put right in his face. Yeah. It's like, you interact with these people every single day and you don't care about what happens to them or what's going on or how they're being hurt or how people who mean something to you can be at risk. And like that completely changes who he is from the musical, where it's kind of like, well, you're hot and I'll do what you want to do. Like,
yeah. And that's kind of even what Elphaba likes about him too. Is like in the musical, it's like, oh, he's the only one who can help her with the lion at that time. But in the movie, he's the only one not affected by the poppies because her subconscious is like, oh no, he'll help me because his horse is a friend of his,
Yeah.
He understands animals. Like, I feel like that's what it's trying to like imply. So it shows that she also has a more meaningful like connection to him than like, oh, he's hot, kind of thing. And then you go into I'm not that girl after he's like really rude to her. And
it does feel like it comes out of nowhere, like when As Long As Your Mind happens. And I think that the cool thing about the musical versus the movie, and like at the end of the day, we can't really fault the musical. It only has so much time, and we were given like pretty much 5 hours of Wicked between these two movies, right? But one of the great things about it is that there is an actual progression from where they start to As Long As Your Mind. That is more than just like, oh my God, in Elphaba's mind, it's like, well, I've got the hot guy now, like she doesn't, I'm sure she doesn't express it that way, but Fiyero turns from a trophy to a partner to her, like he is not just a prize that is won. He is a person who changes and becomes better because he is inspired by Elphaba. And she sees that change and starts seeing him as more than just like this popular hot guy, I have a, not just a partner, but an accomplice, not just someone who like raises my status or my ego, but someone who is going to help me change what's going on in Oz.
I was just thinking, like, oh, Fiyero is literally just dancing through life. He's like so shut off. He's just going along with his wedding where he didn't get to propose. He didn't even get a choice. He's like, well, if it makes you happy, I'll do it.
Yeah. I love the relationship between Glinda and Fiyero in this movie because you can tell it's between two people who genuinely do care about each other.
Yeah.
Like they want the other person to be happy, but they're not in love,
No.
Like, and I've had relationships like that where like, I flirted with the other person and like we like hung out a little bit and it was like, oh, wait, no, you're friend material. You're not partner material. And that doesn't deplete how much I care about you, but it means that I don't romantically love you. I platonically love you, you know?
And they both just seem to be like, okay, you're perfect, I'm perfect, we're perfect together.
Yeah.
They both, like, I don't think actually were in love with each other.
No.
Which I feel like is expanded more in the movie, which helps it make it seem like, okay, the strife between Glinda and Elphaba isn't just about a man. Glinda being like, okay, these are the boxes I need to check to have my perfect dream. And we see that like with the flashback when she's a kid, and we get that with the girl in the bubble kind of thing. Not just like, oh, I'm upset with you because you stole my dude. You know, kind of thing. Which I think, again, that heightens Fiyero's and Elphaba's relationship. That it isn't like just a love triangle and Elphaba wins in the end. It's that they actually have like this real partnership. And at that point, after Wonderful, when she's just so alone and she's so lost, and he's the first person of all her friends and family to be like, no, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I believe in you. What did you think of the As Long As You're Mine scene?
Like, oh man, as you said, Jonathan Bailey is like a top level yearner. And I love the way that he played this. Like, I noticed that like his face was, you would expect a romantic lead to be like, you know, their eyebrows are arched, they're looking passionately, but he is literally stunned by her. His eyes are wide. He can't, in his face, you see him portray the fact that, like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, I'm genuinely in love. I feel a genuine feeling. Like,
yeah.
Like, he's just stunned. And I love, it's like top level yearning and top level portrayal of his character, because he's having these realizations, even in that moment where, like, you know, he's professing his love to Elphaba, and that song is given so much meaning because it's kind of like, you know, I think we, in some subconscious way, they both know that something bad is about to happen, and that like this is, if this is the only chance I have with you tonight, like, damn it all. Like, I want to have this with you, and I am so amazed by you, and I'm stunned by the fact that we can be together right now.
Yeah. And I love the point where they're like floating up, and while like her magic scares other people, he's kind of just amazed by it instead, which just like these little moments. And
I love it. It's such a great message. It's like, get a partner who's amazed by you. Like, don't settle for somebody who's just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, whatever, like, you're mine now. And like, that's how it's supposed to be. Get someone who is like genuinely stunned by like how awesome you are, and who makes you feel that way too, you know? Like, you should be, I don't know, I'm a romantic. I think you should be in awe of each other every once in a while and think like, wow, I can't believe like this person, like I get to share this life with them. And like, that's what you see in As Long As You're Mine, you know?
And yeah, they both challenge each other, and they both make each other better.
Yeah.
Which, again, important things. And also, what sold the relationship to me is the no good deeds. Cynthia's just, oh my goodness. When I was watching that scene, I'm like, how did we get so lucky to find this Elphaba? Like,
yeah. And this is like he's the last domino to fall in like her heartbreak, because it's not just losing him. It's, I have just lost my sister. I have just lost at the game against the wizard. I have like lost the animals who were supporting me. Like, they went off into this freaking desert rather than stay and fight because they didn't feel safe. Like, there's so much has toppled for her. And Fiyero is like, pardon the pun, but he's the last straw. Oh my God. And so everything just crumbles for her, and she's like, she freaks out, and you know, I mean, there's nothing else to do but be like, okay, well, I am wicked, and if that's how I have to be to get what I need, then I'm gonna be that.
We obviously enjoyed this movie.
So
yeah. We want to know, what did you think was the best change or best improvement
Mhm.
from musical to movie? We obviously love the musical too. I mean, I
Yes.
understand there's limitations you can do with theater and also limited time. But yeah, let us know what your favorite change was or something you didn't like.